The Cogswell Interchange. It won't be long before it's wiped clean to be replaced with the Cogswell District, a new neighbourhood in downtown Halifax. The interchange is no longer needed. Transportation engineers tell us that we can achieve the same transportation flows with a much more vibrant use of the space, and that is newsworthy of celebration. As of winter 2020, HRM already has a plan for a street redesign, which will level the interchange and liberate land for new development. But if we can achieve the same thing without it, how did we get the interchange in the first place? When the interchange was first built in 1969, it was part of a larger transformation underway downtown. Just one cog in a much bigger plan to build a new highway through downtown, the infamous Harbour Drive, as well as the construction of a new commercial centre, Scotia Square. It was proposed that Harbour Drive would cut right through downtown Halifax, paving the way for cars to free flow into the city centre. The problem with this is that it would establish a hierarchy of cars over people. Luckily, Haligonians advocated to halt the project in its tracks, leaving behind just one lonely piece of highway, the Cogswell Interchange. An enormous win for the people of Halifax, but one that came a little bit too late for the residents that had already been displaced for its construction. Now, over half a century later, we are embarking on a similarly transformative project. And this time we have the opportunity to put people first. With a new neighbourhood adjacent to downtown Halifax, there's an opportunity to reflect who we are, who we've been, and to direct us where we're going. But if we're not careful, this could quickly become a neighbourhood of exclusion, built only for those wealthy enough to afford it. In June 2019, Halifax Councillor Wayne Mason spoke of the growing unaffordability on the Halifax Peninsula and our historically low vacancy rates. This illustrates how new development can completely alter the demographic makeup of a community. Affordable housing is essential to the existence of mixed-income neighbourhoods, but it's not a natural input of the development equation. Often, affordable housing requires governments to intervene in the development process. For instance, the density bonusing option within the new centre plan offers increased floor space to developers in exchange for a certain provision of affordable housing or another community contribution. But with Cogswell, given that HRM owns the land and holds most of the cards, it's important that we ask, might it be possible to integrate affordable housing beyond what density bonusing can offer? Initial estimates for the cost of the project are $65 million, and this has the potential to be self-funded through the sale of the newly created parcels and their future property tax. And this all sounds good, but let's take a pause to consider another option on the table. Housing development doesn't lend well to the provision of affordable housing at the best of times. So if we plan on balancing the cost of the project through the sale of land, we might be forced to make some difficult trade-offs. On one hand, the project breaks even quite nicely on the city's budget. But on the flip side, this could set the stage for a development process that is fundamentally at odds with providing affordable opportunities to live. If we are to squeeze every last dollar of value from the sale of land, we are guaranteeing that the housing development that eventually occurs will do the same. But what if the HRM decided to retain ownership and not sell the land? What if we are okay with taking a longer view of balancing the cost of the project? Let's consider what this would allow us to accomplish. The HRM could do something that the province already does along the waterfront, which is enable private development through the long-term ground lease agreements. If HRM were to follow this lead, developers would get to build on the Cogswell land, but similarly, HRM would retain ownership. This could do two major things. First, this would lower the cost of land for the developer, which gives the municipality more of a say in what kind of development will occur. For example, we could push for a district energy system, enforce environmental building standards, or require a comprehensive provision of affordable housing, just to name a few things. The second benefit from leasing the land is that it ensures the land stays a city asset for future generations. Just like the interchange today is an asset that we can change to better suit our needs, wouldn't it be nice if we could do the same thing in 50 or 100 years? But this would require investment from the city and the acceptance that the cost of the project won't break even in the short term. As much as the Cogswell redevelopment will face trade-offs, it also presents a tremendous opportunity. The demolition of an existing neighbourhood for the construction of the interchange displaced some of the city's most vulnerable residents. With this redevelopment of the Cogswell District, there's an opportunity to right this historic wrong and to create a neighbourhood for all Haligonians. The HRM is going to be offering more opportunities for public engagement. And through this, we can have a positive effect on shaping the future of Halifax, just like those Haligonians that blocked the construction of Harbour Drive way back. We can do this by challenging the municipality and our developers to build a Halifax that reflects who we are, where we're going, and quite importantly, who we've been.